All right, let's jump right into this. We're going to talk about an entrepreneur who completely, and I mean completely, breaks the mold. His name is Simon Squibb, and his story, well, it isn't your typical slick business school success story. No, this is a journey that started on the streets and is now all about funding the dreams of millions. It is an absolutely wild ride. So let's start where he always starts, with this one simple question. What's your dream? And I'm asking you, really think about it. For him, this isn't just some casual icebreaker. This question has become his entire mission, his brand, and a movement that's gone global. Why? Because he genuinely wants to know. And just look at how powerful that one simple question can be. It's the title of his #1 Sunday Times bestselling book. But this isn't just a book, you know? It's more like his manifesto, his playbook for a philosophy designed to get people like you and me to stop following the rules and start chasing what we actually want out of life. Now, to really understand why this guy is so obsessed with helping other people achieve their dreams, you gotta understand his own. Because, honestly, it's the ultimate underdog story, starting from rock bottom. This timeline really just puts the whole thing into perspective, doesn't it? I mean, at 15 years old, after his father passes away, he gets kicked out of his home. He's literally homeless. Couldn't even get a job because he had no address, no ID, nothing. So out of pure desperation, he starts his first business with zero capital. Fast forward just 10 years, and he's in Hong Kong founding a creative agency. And then at 40, he sells that company to PwC for a massive, life-changing sum. He often says that period of having absolutely nothing was what woke up a part of his brain that school never touched. He calls it his entrepreneurial muscle. And for him, it's exactly that, a muscle. You have to train it by taking risks and pushing yourself, especially when you feel like you've got nothing left to lose. And that whole experience boils down to this one core belief, captured perfectly in this quote. He argues that if you sit around planning forever, you'll just talk yourself out of it. We've all been there, right? The secret, he says, especially when you're just starting, is to, well, just start. Just go for it. So he did it. He achieved that traditional definition of success. He made more money than he could ever need. But for most people, that's the end of the story. For Simon, that's where the story pivots and gets really interesting. It wasn't the end goal, it was just the beginning of a whole new mission. This was the big turning point. After 25 years of grinding and building, he finally reached total financial security. And what was his first thought? It wasn't about retiring to a private island. It was, okay, my bucket's full. How do I start helping to fill everyone else's? And this led to his guiding principle, give without take. It's such a simple idea, but it's so powerful. He actually encourages his followers to do one kind thing for a stranger every single day, just believing in that ripple effect. It's all about offering help, advice, and support with zero expectation of getting anything back. And you've got to understand, this mission is deeply personal for him. He made a vow that if he ever made it, he would go back and create all the resources he desperately wished he'd had as a scared, homeless 15-year-old. He's trying to teach the real-world stuff, sales, resilience, financial literacy, that he feels the system just doesn't prepare you for. And here's the thing, he didn't just talk about it. He's a man of action. He went and built an entire ecosystem to turn this personal mission into a real, tangible, global movement. So let's take a look at how he's actually doing it. 10 million. Just let that number sink in. That's the goal. This isn't some small, modest ambition. Simon Squibb's mission is to help 10 million people start their own business for free. So how in the world does he plan to do that? Through his platform, Help Bank. He calls it the world's first help-to-earn platform. The idea is brilliant in its simplicity. Push a button, get help. Push a button, give help. It's a community connecting tens of thousands of entrepreneurs and mentors, all there to support each other, without the usual barriers, like cost or access. Okay, this might be the most famous and, honestly, the most genius part of his whole mission. He literally bought a staircase in London, a place just like the kind he used to sleep on, and he put a doorbell on it. Anyone can go there, ring the bell, and pitch their dream to a camera. He then shares those pitches with his millions of followers. Think about that. He turned a symbol of his past trauma into a launch pad for other people's futures. So if you're listening to this and feeling that spark of inspiration, he's basically laid out a roadmap for you. You can join the Help Bank community online, get tons of free resources, and yeah, you can even head to that doorbell and pitch your big idea to the world. It's all about creating access. All right, so beyond the incredible story, what are the actual practical lessons we can pull from his journey? He shares a ton of amazing advice, so let's break down some of the biggest takeaways. Now, this right here is one of his most powerful pieces of advice, and it is completely counterintuitive. It's his golden rule of investment. It goes like this. If you ask for money, you'll probably just get advice. But if you ask for advice and the person genuinely likes what you're doing, you're much more likely to be offered money. It just flips the whole script. It's genius. And here's a quick rapid-fire round of his best tips. First, stop overthinking it and just start doing. He truly believes having nothing to lose is a superpower because it kills the fear of failure. He's also a huge advocate for turning your personal pain into your purpose. And here's a big one. When building a team, find partners who share your core values, not just people with skills you don't have. And finally, build a small community of true superfans who will shout your mission from the rooftops. So this really brings us to a final thought, doesn't it? Simon Squibb took a painful memory, a cold, hard stairwell, and transformed it into a global symbol of hope. It just makes you wonder, what's in your own life? Maybe a past struggle or a perceived weakness. What could you reframe and turn into your greatest strength? And that's the ultimate challenge he leaves all of us with. His story is living proof that you don't need money, connections, or a fancy degree to get started. All you need is a dream and the guts to take that first step. He started with less than nothing. So the only question left, really, is what can you start today?